Now, good evening and welcome. And I will now call the Paulding County Board of Commissioners regular meeting to order for June the 26th, 2018. And Brian, I'll request that list. Turn off your cell phones if you don't mind. And if you're able, stand, and I'll lead us in an invocation, and then we have Troop 1916 to lead us in the pledge. Heavenly Father, we're just so grateful and thank you for the blessings of life. We thank you for these people who are interested in their county and support the county. We thank you for our opportunity to make wise decisions. So we pray for your wisdom now. Thank you for our first responders, our marshals, and our sheriff's office, and our fire department, and all the other important department leadership provided there by department heads. So be with us tonight in this meeting in Christ's name. Knock on the door over there, Scott.
Guard. Colors.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Guard.
Thank you, Troop 1916. Under minutes, action to adopt the June 14th, 2018 work session minutes and the June 14th, 2018 board meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Pownell. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries 5-0. Under announcements, we have none. We have no invited guests. Under bid awards, we have none. We have no reports from committees and departments tonight. We have public participation on agenda items. Ms. Deborah Seaver to talk about zoning. Deborah?
Hi, good evening, gentlemen. Thank you
Good evening.
for
Good evening, Ms. Severs.
allowing me to come forward. I just want to discuss two items that we heard on today. One was the PRD, and again, I want to thank Ann and everybody here working so hard on getting moving forward and getting all that taken care of. Based on our meeting this afternoon, we were going to do I think it was a 90-day moratorium. I just want to propose that maybe we can change that to 60-day. So we can work quickly and work with the citizens and get everything and other people. So that was just my thought on that. Secondly, we had the zoning for the 55 and older community. And I don't remember what the zoning actually was called, but I thought everything looked good. There was a couple of adoptions that, changes that was being asked. But one of the things that I don't think we ever settled on that was continuing to go back and forth was the fact of a 2-car garage versus a 1-car garage. And so after talking with some people and doing some study myself once I left here, it came to my attention that Cobb County nor Cherokee County approve a 1-car garage. The surrounding counties require a 2-car garage for the active adult communities, and I'm asking the commissioners here to please keep the standards what our surrounding county has, so that we can keep the product that these builders are coming in, so that we can keep that product strong and we can keep it a good product. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Selena Gaines, and there's no agenda item listed. Ms. Gaines, are you here?
She just signed in.
Oh, okay. Under the consent agenda, there's action on 3 consent agenda items. Not necessary to read again, so I will entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion, we approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Crowe. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Carries 5-0. Under old business, we have none. Under new business, number 1 is action to authorize the chairman to enter into an agreement with GDOT to fund the Traffic Operations Quick Response Project in excess of the $200,000 provided by GDOT, located at the intersection of State Route 120 Buchanan Highway and State Route 120 connector to Scoggins Road. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Pownell. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Collette. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Number 2, action to approve the subaward agreement with the Nature Conservancy in the amount of $150,000 for the supplemental funding of the construction cost to replace the existing bridge on Raccoon Creek Road over Raccoon Creek, with Paulding County providing a total of $115,000 match. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Crowe. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Pownell. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Carries 5-0. New business number 3 is action to authorize the purchase of CIS software from Tyler Technologies in the amount of $53,700. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve.
It's a motion approved by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Collette. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Carries 5-0. New business number 4 is approval of contract between Paulding County, Georgia and B.M. Jones Company, L.P. to purchase approximately 112 acres for $3,500 per acre in the 3rd District, 3rd Section of Paulding County, Georgia, along Raccoon Creek. The chairman is authorized to sign all documents necessary to complete the closing of this transaction, with the closing date expected to take place within 60 days. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, again by post 4, Commissioner
Second.
Crowe, and a second by Commissioner Pownell. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion
deal.
carries 5-0.
Thank y'all.
New business item number 5 is action to approve a contract to purchase real estate between Paulding County and Danny McPherson and Rita McPherson for approximately 3 acres for $137,500 for a fire station. The staff will order a survey for the site immediately, and the chairman is authorized to take all necessary steps to finalize the closing of the parcel. Do I hear a motion?
I will, I'll make a long time overdue motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Pownell. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Crowe. Is there any discussion?
Joey, I appreciate your work. Appreciate the commissioner's work on this. Been a long time coming. For the citizens out there, this is going to help out quite a few citizens that aren't in the 5-mile radius of a fire department. And I can't tell you how excited I am, and I just thank you for your due diligence, and I thank this board for the continued work to get this done. So thank you all so much.
Great job, Joey. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. New business number 6 is action to adopt resolution 18-28, confirming executive session for the purpose of real estate pending and potential litigation. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Pownell. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Collette. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Carries 5-0. Moving to the Planning Commission items. The zoning ordinance amendments are to Articles 3, 6, 7, 8 for the R55 Active Adult Zoning District. The recommendation is from the Planning Commission is to approve a vote of 4-1-1, which is the staff's recommendation for the following conditions to Article 8, Section 5, Paragraph 4. I need to read these.
I don't mind reading them real quick if you want me to. The first change was owner-developer agrees that no more than 30% of homes in the development may have single-car garages. Number 2 was owner-developer acknowledges that dwellings are not allowed to have vinyl siding, but are allowed to have vinyl accessories and trim. And number 3 is owner-developer agrees to install an elevator for buildings and structures over 2 stories.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion for this ordinance change.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
I needed some discussion on this. That's
Coming,
why
it's
I
coming.
went ahead and-
Yeah. And a second by Commissioner Crowe. So now I'll open up for discussion.
One question I had was about the elevator in the buildings for over 2 stories. Are we talking an apartment style building that has one residence on one floor and another on another floor? Are we talking about a single home with 3 stories?
Single-family detached and attached homes are not allowed to be over 2 stories. So anything above that is only the retirement community independent living, so it would be of an apartment style or
Okay.
multifamily style.
Okay.
Other discussion?
And didn't you say it can only be 3 stories, or can it be higher than 3 stories?
The maximum height for a retirement community independent living is 3 stories.
3 stories, okay, that's the thought, okay.
So the amendment would mean anything that was 3 stories would be required to have an elevator.
Correct, okay. This-
Go ahead, Vernon, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that, I'd like to consider an amendment on this one, and I'd like to go to section 4B, where it says all single-family detached and attached cottage dwellings shall contain an attached double-car garage. And then just strike the rest, and that would also affect number 1, right?
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question, was about the garages.
That number 1 was the planning commission's recommendation to add that no more than 30%. So that would negate what the planning commission recommended if you required 2-car garages. So it would strike that recommendation or that condition that they made.
Right, you would strike their version of number 1, and then you would amend it with striking the language she had that says all dwellings over 1,400 square feet must have a double car garage. You would strike the over 1,400 square feet, so it would read all dwellings must have a double car garage.
And I'd like clarification, and gentleman from Windsong, I apologize for forgetting your name. It was my understanding from your comments and from your experience that the market provides a better opportunity for single occupancy units, and as opposed to a married couple or a two-family or a two-person unit. So I just want to get clarification on that. If there's a market for that and it's sought after, it's a little puzzling to me that Cherokee and Cobb don't offer it. I didn't understand that from our nearly 2-hour meeting this afternoon.
I'm Steve Romine. I'm co-owner of Windsong Properties, and we've been building strictly for the active adult market for the last 15 years in Cherokee, Cobb, and Paulding County. Sorry your name, but the comment about Cobb and Cherokee requiring 2-car garage is absolutely true. I'm not sure that, of course, that doesn't, I'm not sure it's relevant because those codes were written a long time ago. And actually, I'll correct myself, Cherokee County does not have a senior zoning. They haven't ever been able to figure out how to do that. So their other residential zonings require 2-car garage. Those are intended as for families. But my point is that we know that over 30% of our buyers are single people. Many of them are widows. And they don't have a choice right now in our communities that are right over the county line in Cobb County. So if the argument is, well, we should do the same thing over here in Paulding County, I don't know why that makes sense. I think, as I said earlier today, it gives people an opportunity to have a choice. So we know that people who are single often are on a limited financial basis. And so given the choice between having a 2-car garage and having a 1-car garage with an enhanced house, whether it's a fancier bathroom, fancier kitchen, adding a fireplace, or vaulting a ceiling, or whatever else, we feel that warrants that choice. Now I can tell you that at 30% of our homes being 1-car garage, we can live with that. Because we also know that the other 70% of the buyers are going to go for a 2-car garage, and sometimes they'll even want a 3rd-car garage. I don't know how many people here have an extra toy that they want to put in the garage. But I just think it's a question of choice and affordability, and I really don't know what negative effect it could possibly have on a community to have a few houses that have 1-car garages that really speak to those buyers and giving them the opportunity to have exactly what they want.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
And I would just echo that the Planning Commission, who recommends to the board, did address that in the 30%. So it's not that they ignored it.
Well, I know I left that meeting with the understanding that that was a commonly accepted thing. I'm a little irritated. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm a little irritated that we came through that meeting, and the gentleman made note of 30% of his buyers are buying 1-car garages and didn't mention the fact that he's not allowed to build those in neighboring counties. I mean, maybe I'm alone in my frustration there, and I don't. I found that out this afternoon, and he's come to the microphone. I think he has something to say.
Well, no, I wanted to correct the record. I don't think that I said that 30% of our buyers are buying houses with 1-car garages, because
That's certainly
I
what
wouldn't have made that
understood.
statement. What I said was 30% of our buyers are singles, and many of them would like to buy a 1-car garage. And I'm not trying to get into an argument. I just want to make sure
Okay.
that I clarify or make sure that I did not, that you didn't, I'm sorry. I didn't say they're currently doing it. So I was not misleading you in any way
Okay.
whatsoever. I'm
Thank you.
saying that there is a need for it, and there are people who would like to have that. And again, I'll repeat it. I don't see what negative impact it has in any way on a community to have houses that are smaller. You know, we can range from 1,000 square feet to 2,500 or 3,000 square feet. It's okay. Not everybody has to fit into the same box. And so I would suggest that 30% of the houses, up to 30% of the houses could have 1-car garages. But remember, the other thing I said was that 95% of our homes are pre-sales. Now, there was a question of what happens to that house after that person moves out. Well, there are more of us older people who will then buy there. And I think the only, Liz from Piedmont Residential is here, she could also attest to the fact. She was actually the one who said that they have built one-car garages in where? City of Canton, Gwinnett County and so on. And they're viable. And they're really an attractive house. Again, that was the other point I made. You know, you take the frontage and have 12 feet of garage instead of 20 feet of garage, it's a much better looking product. It raises the elegance of the whole community. Sorry I get excited about this stuff because this is what I live and breathe. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Steve, there would also be the, for sake of a better word, argument that most of your people, if you're saying they're single people coming into a house, your argument is, look, we can trade off here, give them more inside living room versus the garage area. Most people who are single people don't need that much room, but they may need some storage. And cosmetically, the double does look much better.
The double what? Double garage?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm not communicating well. What I was saying about the appearance of the house, if you take a house that's, let's say, 40 feet wide, and it's currently, with the 2-car garage, 20 feet of that is garage door. So you see a 20-foot front porch or a 20-foot facade and a 20-foot garage door, 20 feet of garage. Whereas if you have a 1-car garage, the garage is less than half of the frontage. It gives you more, it actually looks better is what I'm suggesting. It's the same reason that a house with a alley-loaded garage looks better than a house with a front garage, because you have all this attractive facade as opposed to a garage door, unless you love garage doors.
Thank you.
Any other comments or discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to withdraw my motion to approve.
Okay, I have a motion to,
No, he
doesn't
withdrew
have
his
to.
original motion, so now we don't have a motion.
yes, ma'am. Okay, would there be any other motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve with the change to section 4, paragraph B, striking the words over 4,000 feet and the sentence no more than 30% homes in a development may have single-car garages, so that the paragraph reads, all single-family detached and attached cottage dwellings shall contain an attached garage. A minimum of 2 parking spaces per unit is required. The parking spaces must be in the driveway of the garage. All dwellings must have a double-car garage.
Okay. So in doing that, you're striking number 1 that the planning commission recommended.
Yes.
Okay.
Does that include, if it what then happens if we just strike number 1? What happens?
You strike number 1, and then you're amending the section, you're amending the last sentence of it to say all dwellings must have a double-car garage.
That's correct.
Okay, we have a new motion, and Ms. Skipper just reread it. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Crowe. Is any additional discussion?
Hang on just a second.
It's your amendment to make. He's not the applicant. You're the applicant. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to clarify a question he had. This is a text amendment, so this is an amendment that you are bringing as the Board of Commissioners to modify your own zoning ordinance. Okay? All right, so we have a motion and a second, and that motion includes the changes that we already talked about. That's where we are.
Okay.
Can you state that again, Ron, please?
Do you want me to do it?
Yes, that'd be
Lonnie did it
great.
so much better than I
Okay,
did.
so the motion was a motion to approve with, changes from the original planning commission recommendation, where you are striking number 1 of the planning commission's recommendations, which was the 30% portion, and you are changing what the staff had in the original ordinance to read, all dwellings must have a double car garage. And I'm assuming you're leaving items 2 and 3. You're leaving items 2 and 3 that were on the planning commission's agenda.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, a motion and a second. As far as discussion, I'd just like to reiterate that I agree with the gentleman's statement, Steve's statement, that to have variety in a community it makes it more attractive. I believe that it's nice to have options and choices. So I think 30% was a good adjustment to what the to the 0%. So, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. Motion carries 4-1.
I'm sorry, could I interrupt? Rebecca, who had the second on that last motion? Thank you.
And next from the Planning Commission is a recommendation to extend the moratorium up to 90 days for the planned residential development district. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to extend the moratorium, but I'd like to change from 90 days to 60 days.
We have a motion to change the 90 days to 60 days. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Crowe. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, Ann, are we gonna be good with this?
Yes.
We are?
And in the next 2 months, I'll be glad to schedule some meetings with some interested parties on
Okay.
both people who have properties on PRD and some of the builders.
Because we need to get on it pretty quick in order, okay. 60 days goes quick.
Any other comments? Okay, we'll vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. That's the conclusion of our regular business.
Mr.
We have
Chairman.
no executive session. No one who has signed up to speak on non-agenda items.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
if I could, we've had a couple of things happen this afternoon, and I would like to make a motion to go into executive session. Hopefully no more than 15 or 20 minutes for pending and potential litigation.
Okay,
Is that a motion?
That's my motion.
I'll second that motion.
we have a motion by Commissioner Pownell to go into executive session for pending litigation, and a second by Commissioner Davis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Carries 5-0. We'll adjourn to executive session.